stream. It's all in hot tubs and
Let's
bikinis.
do it. Once it's hot enough. Yeah. So, in regards to that, Keith is our only viewer. He watches us and he's the one that says the word in the first 30 seconds and then reports himself. It's the only way it's gonna work.
Good morning, good evening, everybody. Don't
really
interrupt my intro. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Well, there we go. What was that, 5 seconds?
It's okay, this background is not the right background anyway, and I thought it was the right one, so I gotta fix this now in the middle of the show. I'm so sorry.
And it doesn't matter, because technically we've been live for 6 minutes getting ready.
Oh. So that's how we get around
it. Hello, we are Pixel Pints. We are the only podcast that talks about two things that we enjoy, which is good beer and video games. We're not here to promote drinking. Please drink responsibly. Please game responsibly as well. So don't play any games like FIFA or Madden, because they funnel people towards gambling. So there. And games with gambling shouldn't be aged appropriate for 3-year-olds.
No.
That was what I learned from Jim Sterling today, too.
Think of the children.
Well, yeah, I could have come out with a triple A. But before we get into going around the room, seeing how everyone is and if they've got any interesting beers they want to talk about, or other beverages, just to say that we are doing our gigantic E3 prediction show today, and there's going to be so much AAA juice spurted all over your ears and eyes, you won't know what's coming.
Okay.
Wow.
So whilst Mitch tries to fix Matt's obvious screw up, because I'm not going to blame Mitch for that. Dan, how's things with you?
Very good. It's good to be back.
What have you been playing? Anything interesting?
I've been playing a wonderful game that was purchased by yours truly, you, Keith.
So I've heard that I'm a really wonderful person. I mean, kind-hearted, caring.
Who knew giving you my Sky Sports login would be so beneficial to me? But,
lucrative is the word you're looking for.
Lucrative. But no, it's but yeah, I've been playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm still on the first one because work has been very, very hectic, and so has Thomas. So haven't only played about 10 hours, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And every time if I'm not playing Apex Legends with you, I jump onto my PlayStation and carry on through the campaign. Really much enjoying it. You would have seen it on Twitch, but I streamed on it, didn't save the stream, and forgot to upload it. So that's now just gone to the ether. Never mind.
Good.
Balls up on my behalf.
Okay, and on Dan's tardiness, Michael, how are you? Good to have you back.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back. I spent the whole day yesterday moving furniture for my friends that are moving out, and my back is in pain, and I'm very tired. But I'm happy to be here.
Did you lift with your legs, or are you leaning over?
Both. With all sorts of furniture. But other than that, I'm happy to give my prediction this episode. So
and
I got a new mic.
You've got a new mic. We can hear you better. And what's that background you've got behind you?
Control, a fascinating game. I thought it was going to be like mediocre good, like something that I will enjoy regardless, but it's turning out to be like really a phenomenal game. So I'm hooked. I'm hooked on everything about it.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Evan loves that game. I really enjoyed it. Not enough for me to try and get the platinum. And there's too much reading. I don't want to read words in my video games.
I don't like that in games.
That's me. That's totally me. However, with this game,
I've been reading everything. Reading everything. I know it. Like I usually hate that, but with this, it's so interesting because it's in a way, like it's everyday simple stuff going weird, So like, oh, that fridge now speaks and talks and sings and whatever.
Well, it's boring like TPS report interdepartmental memos, but with a twinge of like the interdimensional like oddities and all the things that are happening there. So I just love how bland the things are, but it's like, you need to transfer me to the 5th floor. I can't stand this place because my Post-it notes keep doubling like that Hogwarts trophy or whatever. It keeps multiplying around my room and I'm going crazy. You gotta promote me so I can get out of this office. Like I love all that random stuff.
Evan, you're not really selling the game. The enthusiasm's not there, so I'm going to move on. Matt, what's the temperature in Las Vegas?
Currently, it's only 33.
Only?
Yeah, only 33. I think earlier today we probably approached 41 or 42. It was like 108 or 109 Fahrenheit.
And what have you been playing? Anything interesting?
Yeah, I don't know if you want me to talk about this game though.
Why would I not want you to talk about games on the gaming podcast that we do?
Because I've been playing a lot of Yakuza 0 lately.
Well, it's a fabulous game in a fabulous series of games. in the year of the Evan, we cannot say anything bad about the Yakuza franchise. Next year, I'm going to fucking blast those games.
He's got his notes. He's waiting for January 1st.
He has a tracker of how many corrections he has to make.
I'm actually having fun with the real estate minigame. So
yes.
I unlocked that and I was like, why would I want to do this? Why would I want to spend all this fucking time? But I've noticed that like I don't want to sit down and getting totally engaged with something. There's this mini game that I can do, which takes my mind off of shit, but it allows me to, still have fun. So
it's the same thing with me and the
cabaret, the cabaret stuff.
No. I'm talking about the booths where you manage women to go sit in a booth to entertain men.
So good.
I think it's I think it is called cabaret something.
It's like a cabaret club.
It's different for each game. I think mine was in 2. Kiwami 2.
Kiwami 2 had it as well.
Okay.
I didn't play 0.
As much as I would like to continue talking about that fabulous series of games, we should probably move on. Evan, in the last week, have you, 1, legally changed your name to Chew on D's Nuts? And 2,
that's right.
have you learned the difference between bottles and cans?
I have. I bought a bottle. Right. This is a bottle, right?
That is a bottle, yes.
Okay, so I have learned the difference between bottles and cans. I haven't chewed on these nuts. I'm just not very flexible. But no, I'm doing all right.
Whoa.
I'm doing fine.
And you recently got a platinum trophy, another one. You're up to 46 now. Well done.
Yeah, Mystopia. I feel bad about that one, but at least it's not I Am Mayo. But yeah.
Why did you feel bad about it? Was it just turning on the game and you get a platinum trophy and then turning it off again?
There's like 10 gold trophies in the game, and all you do is like save mice.
It's an easy platinum. It's an easy platinum.
Yeah, it's a bad. You die a lot, and it takes about 2 hours, so I don't feel that bad about it.
Thomas could get the platinum. That's why he feels bad.
I think his dad's gonna try and get it first.
Thomas just has to go bang bang on the controller, and he's gonna get the platinum.
Yeah. The same can't be said about Far Cry 5, unfortunately, but yeah.
That was hilarious. That the mountain lion just jumping out on that person from inside a house. That was great.
Yeah.
Was it from
the game is fun.
Mitch, how's things in LA?
That's good. Got a haircut and it's sunny. Yeah, I just watched The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. I liked it.
I want to see that.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not the scariest of the Conjuring movies, but they do a different approach with it and making it more of like a mystery thriller. detective type style movie, but I think for them it works because it's like I don't want them just to go to another house again, and this is based off a real court case they've done. So
very loosely based.
It's the first court case done where a person said that they said
Possessed.
Well, yeah, they said pled is the word I was looking for. Pled not guilty by demonic possession. So it was fascinating. I like what they did with it.
Which immediately got thrown out, and then they got tried, but the movie goes in a completely different direction. I'm fine as well. Thanks everyone for asking.
Oh yeah.
Well, I wasn't done yet, but okay, whatever. No, how are you, Keith?
I'm good. The weather's been much better. I've also had a haircut and a shave, so I look nicer on the stream for everyone.
It's what we do. We coordinate. We say we got the host guy look good this week. You know.
One day I'm going to show up in a shirt and tie and see if we can just by chance you're wearing a shirt and tie as well.
I mean, my closet's right there, so I'll just run and grab it.
So I've been playing Rain on My Parade from Unbound Creation Studios and posting some clips of that. I thought they were going to do more stuff in takeoffs of other games because I posted the one that was meant to be, that was a rip-off of Metal Gear Solid. They did another one which was Counter-Strike. And I thought they were going to continue with it, but they didn't. So slightly disappointed in that way. It's not exactly a challenging game. It's a bit of a cutesy indie game where you play a cloud that just goes around ruining people's days. It's great.
That is a great premise for a game.
Does it have a platinum trophy?
It does have a platinum trophy, and it would be relatively easy to get as well.
I'm curious.
And it's available. It's available on Game Pass. So otherwise, I wouldn't have played it.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, forgot to say, Dan, I'm also playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition right now as well. I think about farther than you though.
Yeah, you probably are. I haven't played
I play probably 15 hours right now. Probably got that much in. But I've also played it before, so I'm also zooming by it very quickly because I know what to do.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like touring the galaxy, just like exploring things and like not really following the main story at all.
Well, my only
really
complaint so far has been, so I'm playing on PC, and just like the PlayStation version, it makes you download all 3 games. So I just it makes me use 100 gigs on my hard drive here on my PC, which is
I'm happy for it to download all 3 games because then I can play 2 and 3 without having to worry waiting.
And on Dan's excellent point that nothing bad should ever be said about Mass Effect. Does anyone have any beers or other beverages they would like to talk about?
I got 2 beers.
Yeah. Well, since Mitch rarely brings on beer, go for it.
I'm making up for lost time, fellas. Told you I was gonna bring one this week. So I have 2 from. So I went to a funny name. It's called BJ's.
I think Chew On would really
Chew On would love that one. It's a place in Pasadena. It's actually built. I think there's a couple. I think it's a franchise, but to be honest, it's built in a bank. So like it still has the it's a brewery and also a restaurant. So the restaurant it's inside a bank. So the teller place is where the cooks are. And so like you kind of just all the seating arrangements are on this grand foyer area where it's like the large space, tall ceilings, old building, columns. It's really nice. But anyways, they had their own brewery with a bunch of beers. So I brought 2 of them. I was gonna let you guys pick which one I'm gonna do, and because it's E3, I might get to both. So maybe I'll get to both. We'll see. So the first one they did. So they had the widest range. They had like double IPAs. They had like Irish, like really rich dark beers. Like they had a bunch. But these are the 2 most famous ones in there. So this is a Kolscher style beer. It's a blonde, and she's a blonde.
It's kind of a cool can design.
Now, Evan, that's a can.
Very, yes. Wait, where's my notebook?
So it's
I got a napkin.
This one's really light. It's a 4.7. And they've been brewing since 1996, so not old brewery.
That's
but
the New Age brewers.
Yep, they're New Age brewers. And the other one is an Irish style Jeremiah Red, is what they call this one.
Nice. I vote that one.
Me too. I vote red.
Yeah.
So the
second one.
So well, of course you're going to vote for this one because it's got 7.3.
Yeah. It's a proper session beer,
proper
bro.
session beer.
That's session beer for Evan.
Oh, and these are brewed in Temple, Texas. So I guess it must be a franchise that they just send these out to a bunch of places. But yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll go with the Jeremiah Red, and then maybe I'll get to the blonde if we get enough time. There is another one though that is 9.8.
Nice.
That's all.
Do you know what kind of style it is?
Double IPA.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be that one. It's like a fine wine.
And that's for a 12-ounce can, fellas.
I poured it into a wine glass to drink it like that. Otherwise, I knew I'd just be under the table before the end of the first course. It was like 10% or something stupid.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Evan, I saw you drinking out of a wine glass. Or is it a wine glass? Is it brandy?
Oh no,
snifter?
this is the stemmed tulip pint. Sorry.
Let's see if I can do a non-Evan port.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Your pouring sucks.
Oh, okay.
Ass.
As long as
Evan,
It's very
what have you got
chokes on
whilst we
dick
wait to
style.
reach?
What I would say is, I think Evan's pouring has evolved over the last year, and actually, it's pretty good now.
I've been trying really hard.
Nice.
So you like seeing your guys' self on
Thanks,
screen,
Red.
fellas?
That doesn't look enough head
Yeah.
though, in my opinion. If it's supposed to be, if it's a ale, it should be a bit more. Otherwise,
Well, it's
looks a
12
bit flat.
ounces. It's a can. This comes in a 6-pack. That's pretty.
That's a pretty big
Yeah.
mug.
Oh,
You didn't like that.
Yeah, they're almost pretty good.
We're not fortunate enough to have.
I want to
Imperial
have a beer
Pints
right
here.
now, but it's 8 in the morning. I really can't do
Okay.
that.
It's extremely light, but it is basically your basic Irish style beer. There's nothing really special to it. It tastes really good though. I'm always fine for the Irish style beer, especially the lighter ones on my end. So it's all right up my alley.
I
Or
like
if
the
it's an
color
Irish
of it.
red. Like
Yeah.
it looks like an Irish red to me, which is a very
Because it
flavorful beer.
is an Irish red. It literally
Yeah.
said it on
Yeah, it's a
the
Jeremiah
can.
Red Irish style.
Oh, sorry.
ale,
I was
so it's an
looking.
ale.
I was looking down when he showed the beer can. Sorry.
Well, on all of us.
Here you go, Evan.
Yes. Sorry.
He looks like you.
Okay.
It's-
I'm not quite that.
if you grew it out,
Halfway there.
Who else has beer?
I
Let's
think
hurry
Evan
this
was
up.
making notes on what
Yeah,
the can
I've
is.
got
Yeah,
805
actually, sorry.
Cerveza. So
Senior.
their main beer is the 805 is a blonde ale, but they came out with this Cerveza variant, which is just a Mexican lager. Nothing too special. It does have a hint of lime, but this one is. I'm pouring like Evan. This one's 4.5, so it's practically non-alcoholic.
Isn't Cerveza just beer in Spanish?
Cerveza? Yeah. I think so.
Cerveza. Oh, we
Oh, I'll
lost
just turn
down.
the camera.
Oh, Dan disappeared. I think he meant to mute himself and then he took off his
Yeah,
camera
so
instead.
Yeah, so it's 805 Cerveza. That's all it says on the label.
Right. Thanks for that. Nice light lager for 100-degree weather. Evan, what have you got?
Exactly.
Well, I do have some notes. If you can see, I think I did a good job.
Can
Right.
equals can,
Oh.
bottle not can, bottle equals bottle. Well done. That is correct. Were you also given those napkins from a girl in the street handing out napkins?
No,
You're just
they were
like,
I
not.
also was thinking, Evan, you were like, I was thinking, can? Like, can you do the can?
Can you? That is the question.
Can you do the can?
Unfortunately, McWomble, they're not
Can
handing out
not
tissues right now because of the pandemic, but they will return at some point, I'm sure.
They'll hand them out during
okay.
the Olympics.
Oh God, please stop. I'm drinking which I've introduced on the show before, Baird beer, which is a craft brewery in some place I'm not going to mention a prefecture, but it was.
How dare you.
How dare you? But I think I've highlighted them before. I think I did an Imperial Stout. It's a husband wife couple, American husband, Japanese wife, and they're like old school craft beer. Like once the laws passed, I believe in 1997, to which these laws passed in the 70s that allowed companies like Sierra Nevada and stuff to actually brew beer and sell them. They started really right when craft beer was like legal to sell at like however many barrels per year that it was set at. But so they have like really proper craft beer. It's not any of this light bullshit that like Asahi and Kirin are trying to hop onto and pretend that it's craft beer. But this is Fruitful Life Citrus IPA. I think they have the same artist for all of their stuff. It's like a woodblock print. I don't really know what that's supposed to be honest with you. But it says the Fruitful Life Citrus IPA, a painstakingly crafted citrus fruit hop bomb, and Baird beer is unfiltered, re-fermented in the bottle, and naturally carbonated. It is alive. It is alive and evolving. Can, bottle, alive. All right. This is a 330 ml bottle, 7%. So it's quite cloudy. You got kind of like a dark, like a kind of a golden amber going on, more dark than golden. A decent amount of carbonation, but not too much. But yeah, this is a. It says like a citrus hop bomb. To me, I get more orange peel in it than anything, but that's fine because it kind of adds to the bitterness of the hops. But yeah, this is a really solid IPA from them. Baird beer is one of the better breweries in Japan. And one more thing that I have is, has anyone ever had umeshu, the Japanese plum liquor? So basically, it's made with Japanese plum, which is very, very sour. You pickle it in like a white liquor with rock sugar, and you ferment it for it goes 1 year to 3 years to 5 years. This one is called Pio, which I saw and I thought that was quite funny, which is what my students refer to me as because Piotrowski's too long. So it's actually got the Japanese plum inside of it. So this is the Choya Pio 50 ml. It's got a pop cap. It's a very sweet wine or a sweet liquor. Slightly bitter, but overall like very, very sweet. I don't like it too much, but I recommend trying it.
Is it strong?
14%. So it is like a wine.
I think. Okay, I'll have to look into it. I think we do. I may be wrong. I think we have something similar in my country. We do that. I'm not sure. I'll have to check.
I will say, if you like a really good balance of, wow, is this sour? But at the end it gets really, really sweet because they put sugar in it and ferment it. But yeah, this is yeah. I am only taking a sip of this and I'm putting it back in the fridge.
Okay, so can you, like, hypothetically, could you get a mouthful of that, or is it very strong?
What do you mean?
Like, can you just gulp it, or do you need to take like smaller sips because it's too strong?
I mean, you could, but it's like taking. I guess it's like taking a shot of wine, which like sounds like I might as well be drinking out of a Yahtzee shaker or something. But yeah. So yeah, it's a sip. It's a sip type of thing. Usually you'll have it with like a seltzer water, a tonic water, to slightly it's a popular drink in Japan. But most people do not drink it straight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm totally gonna bring
Speaking of Japan, I really want to move this on, otherwise we can be here for days.
Sorry.
But I have, other than the delicious Twinings everyday tea that I just finished, I have Fun Marble Drink.
Oh,
hey,
yeah, the thing I recommend, the marble one, right?
Yeah, Ramune.
It's got a glass marble in the bottle.
One.
Wait, did you do the normal one like I recommended first?
They only had the yuzu citrus flavored one,
Oh,
so I
okay.
got that.
Okay. How much
Yuzu
sugar
is
is
the
in
most
that?
common
How much is in the
citrus
yuzu
plant.
citrus one?
It's 200 milliliters. It's quite refreshing, actually.
Yeah, it's very light. It's very light.
I had it last month. I found it in a store and bought it.
It's got
really good.
8.6 grams of sugar in this bottle, though, which normally I wouldn't drink it, but because we're here and doing this. Evan, is the definition of fun slightly different in Japan to the UK? Because I'm not sure how much fun I'm having with the fun marble drink.
Yeah, who knows?
The one thing
It's
the one thing is you have to drink it in the right direction, or else the marble will get in the way of blocking your beverage.
Yeah, it's like a little game.
Yeah, you gotta make sure it goes in the right holes.
It's like trying to plug your phone charger into the wall while you can't see it. That's fun, right?
Or trying to play the marble game in Resident Evil Village. Back to video games.
Yes. So, who since my idea wasn't fun enough for you all, passive aggressive much.
Honesty is the best medicine.
We decided to make a hybrid approach, which would be more fun.
Yeah, so we're going to go for a hybrid approach. We're going to talk about the major platform holders and publishers, their press conferences, if anyone has anything that they'd like to highlight. And then we're going to talk about what potentially could be the dumbest announcements that could be made at E3, also known as they should have had Mitch in the room for that. The dullest, we should go cue the slow hand clap, and the dopest. So shut up and take our money. But I won't pre-order because pre-ordering's for suckers. Who wants to start, and which press conference do we want to start with?
I'm assuming we would want to go in order of when they're going to come out.
So EA, and then Gearbox. Gearbox are doing a conference. Why the hell are Gearbox doing a conference?
Talk about their TV show.
And the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, because that has something to do with video games. I guess it's tangentially related.
Well,
Okay,
it's,
so
it's Ubisoft and Gearbox the same day, right? Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Okay, so Ubisoft is first. Unless we want to count EA. Usually, I mean, it's up to us if we want to count EA or not.
Well, they might come out with something interesting.
Yeah.
Or they might do something really stupid. Which would
definitely be a Just Dance number.
What, at EA's
Or
conference?
Ubisoft.
Not at
EA's
EA.
conference. Wow, I didn't know they'd bought the IP.
No, for
Spreading
Ubisoft. That's
No,
the first one
virus.
that comes up.
No, but we're talking about whether EA is worth talking about.
Well, it's technically
Get with the program, Matt. Get with the program.
Sorry.
How many beers? Welcome to the podcast.
So,
So EA is first, is it?
yes, but they do their Splinter was it EA Play?
Yeah, across the street or whatever it is, 2 blocks away.
Proximity isn't enough, really. Well, they'll do the normal thing of hit with. What was the thing that Andrew Wilson said they're going to focus on?
I am not a robot. Check the box.
Yeah, well, there's apparently a big FIFA announcement that they're going to make. It's like, seriously, there's a big.
What could it be?
We have a great announcements about our EA
FIFA
Sports.
Euro 2021. There we go.
It could be.
Summer expansion. That's what it's going to be. That's going to be the big FIFA announcement.
Oh, yeah, but then
I don't care.
Yeah, well, is it a big FIFA announcement? There's going to be another one.
Do we expect any Star Wars news?
Hopefully, but who knows?
See, two of my picks for dumbest and dopest could actually come from EA. So, dumbest, and Andrew Wilson gets on stage. Here at EA, we really care about innovation. And that's why we are here to announce. Oh shit! I've forgotten the name of the franchise.
we're probably gonna see that.
That's exactly what he'll say, and then we'll
just say that.
Oh shit!
Verbatim. That's exactly what he says.
What's the game developer again? Need for Speed.
No, he's the game that they just won't kill off. They're going to announce Medal of Honor Drop Zone. Medal of Honor themed battle royale, crammed full of all the microtransactions that everyone loves. And in the same way that years ago they said Medal of Honor would be a COD killer, they're going to try again, and it will fail dramatically. So that would be my dumbest announcement that anyone could make across E3.
I'll pull the trigger on my dullest. I don't care about anything that EA makes. You could say Dragon Age, but I played Inquisition on my PlayStation 3, not optimal, so I completely lost interest in it. But yeah,
what if they bring
I'm gonna
Mass
skip
Effect?
it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if they do. I mean, this would be the perfect time to do it because there's hype behind it.
Matt, it's got your two favorite things. It's got BioWare with Mass Effect, and it's got Star Wars. Do you think anything is going to come that you'd like out of those two?
Probably not, but teaser shit maybe. Not anything tangible.
Right, I'm going to go with my dopest now, and it's going to come from EA. Right. The announcement that is going to win EA E3. Try saying that 5 times fast. Andrew Wilson is going to get back on stage, and he's going to say, with the success of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, we are opening up the archives, and he's going to ask the audience to shout out games from the EA own the IP to, and it's going to be like Oprah Winfrey. You get a remaster, and you get a remaster, and you get a remaster. And you're going to have
Dead Space.
Dead Space. Bring Dead Space back.
Dead Space. Wing Commander. You're going to just remasters out of your arse.
That would be dope.
Triple A juice, baby.
My dullest.
That is some Triple A juice. That is some juice. I'll take it.
Very unlikely, but I like the idea.
My dullest prediction also has to do with EA. They are going to tease a new studio closure, and
they're going to tease it.
Yeah, and announce another
logo and everything.
Oh, you mean tease the project that will kill the studio?
Yeah. And announce a new co-op game from Joseph Fares.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
It Takes 3. Yeah, that's a good one. If anyone is going to tease a studio closure, it would be EA. So
they've probably already got the hole dug just to bury the studio.
Yeah.
Right, has anyone got anything interesting that they want to talk about EA, or should we move on? Okay, that's.
I just don't. Here's the thing: I just don't anticipate. I don't anticipate any meaningful Star Wars news, and I don't anticipate any BioWare news. Maybe Dragon Age 3, but that's pushing it.
Dragon Age 4 will probably.
I'm sorry, 4. They're so bad that I just don't even know what number we're on.
Well, I don't know. My wife is excited about it, but yeah.
Did you ever get that platinum trophy?
No.
So apparently she didn't like it that much.
I mean, she's dumped a couple 100 hours into Inquisition, so.
But she didn't get the platinum?
5 playthroughs.
Yeah.
Evan's like, I would have got it in a quarter of that time.
Why even play video games? Why? I just give up.
I don't think
for enjoyment, perhaps.
Has any,
all right, we can move on. Okay, Keith.
Good. Ubisoft. What have they got to announce? Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
The dopest announcement for me would be them going Skull and Bones. I think they've already kind of semi-announced this. We really wasted our time for 5 years trying to build a ship combat game, and we're going to give you the pirate game you always wanted when we fucking released Black Flag. Yay!
Are you playing background music while you're saying this?
He's entertaining Thomas.
Oh yeah, there's a bit of music going on in the background. Sorry, it's just.
It sounded like you were on the high seas, so I was just really confused for a minute. Going, did you set that
That's
up?
not the high seas. The high seas sound like an ice cream truck.
But No, yes. I have actually. I don't know if that is the dopest announcement. I think from E3, but I just thought it'd be funny because Black Flag's been not Black Flag. Sorry, Skull and Bones has been a complete failure from start to finish. And actually, no one wanted that game. They wanted the open world pirate game that Ubisoft just don't want to give anyone. Winds me up.
It's just that
the PvP.
Their main IPs go into all these parts, and they try to do everything. That when one of those mechanics is good, and they want to, like, I imagine, make a new IP around it, like, it just doesn't work because it doesn't make sense. You've been having pirate stuff and ships and everything in all Assassin's Creed games, and now you want to separate that.
It would have made sense had they gone, let's use some of the stuff we've learned from Assassin's Creed and actually let you leave your ship and walk around and be a pirate. Oh no, we won't do that. We'll just take the ship battling part, which was fun, and make a separate game on ship battling.
I mean,
so I'm like, well, I can just play World of Tanks.
They're actually taking away things to make a new thing, and that's not. I mean,
they wanted to make an online multiplayer pirate
cow.
But I think
simulator thing.
I think even so, I think you could still make it interesting and build off those basic mechanics from those games. Like, I think there is a game there. It's just they haven't been able to execute it, which I'm like debating right now whether to use my Dullest on Ubisoft right now or save it for the Microsoft thing. I know I want to give it to so badly.
Oh no, there's another contender for Dullest.
But I'm not going to use it. But my runner-up for Dullest would be Beyond Good and Evil 2, because holy cow, I've seen that game. It looks rough. Like, it looks really rough. So unless they polish the crap out of it and blow my mind about how it plays, looks, feels, everything like that, because to be honest, it looks like a generation ago game.
It's
trying to do too much. That's what it's trying to do. It's trying to do everything at once and not doing one thing good enough.
It's gonna be the next Cyberpunk, isn't it? We've had all this hype for years. It's gonna come out. It's gonna be broken, and everyone's gonna be disappointed.
I don't think it's gonna be broken because I trust Ubisoft after Breakpoint that they learned their lesson. Actually, never mind. I'm gonna say I heard Valhalla was broken like crap. Never mind. I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take that back. Because I heard Valhalla is still broken.
There seems to be, other than the Far Cry games, which I'm expecting to see more from Far Cry 6. Yeah. There seems to be a requirement for many of the IP at Ubisoft to make them as big worlds as possible. Just make them bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's not necessarily the approach that everyone needs to take. And I think that shows from Far Cry. You can have a smaller world and do more stuff in it, particularly for 6, if it's just going to be on one island rather than the whole of Montana. Because
a world that's not dense and it's just large is highly forgettable. Like, I can't remember any. I only remember colors and mood tones from their worlds, but I don't remember specific locations. Like, if I remember a specific location, I wouldn't remember where it was on the map. I only remember like the aesthetic from their games. That's the issue.
Farmland and mountains. It's very forgettable.
Controversial opinion. Ubisoft specifically in their worlds, especially Far Cry, remind me of Breath of the Wild, of how barren and just uninspiring those world is.
They're not giving you a job.
Just a second.
Hey, if I diss them, it's because I wish they would make it better. And if they hire me, I will help them make it better.
You just make it worse.
Before moving on, my dumbest prediction actually is tied to Ubisoft. I think the worst thing they could do this year is actually skip announcing a Just Dance game.
That's the worst thing they could do. I thought you that you were going
especially
to go
the dancing panda. The panda must always be there.
Panda this year.
That always has to be there.
He has to be there.
Like,
I was
what
thinking
the hell are you
everyone
even
talks about
doing? Like, where's the montage? Where's the choreography opening the event? I would be shocked if they don't do it again.
Actually, here's the dumbest announcement, and I think I'm going to piggyback slightly off of you a little bit. Ubisoft, and this is going to be my dumbest for all of them. The dumbest announcement Ubisoft could do is not announcing a partnership with Nintendo with another type property like Mario vs. Rabbids Kingdom Battle, or doing not Starfield. I'm sorry. What's the game called? Starlink. Thank you. With having Star Fox in it, I think Ubisoft has done Nintendo properties actually pretty well, and I think they could do another good one. So it would be dumb if they did not announce something with Nintendo again, because I think the partnership has gone really well, and I think they could keep continuing making great stuff.
I'm waiting for Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2. The first one was fantastic. Give me that stuff, and also I agree with you, Mitch.
It doesn't
give me a Star
feel
Fox
like
Ubisoft game.
That one.
It's either that, or the other dumbest thing they can do is show off a Sam Fisher without showing off a new Splinter Cell game.
That is really dumb. If they do that again, that might be the dumbest thing.
Another moment.
Because be truly honest, here I think about it, and actually maybe I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna make it the Sam Fisher one, because I was thinking about this in my car and I completely forgot I was thinking about this. You know what would make Sam Fisher would be freshen up the franchise, make it awesome, relevant. Not that the franchise was never relevant, but give it a fresh new coat of paint. Make it the next Alpha Protocol. Alpha Protocol was a very underestimated game. It was a spy thriller that included RPG elements where you could choose your own destiny in regards of what kind of spy you were going to be. It determined what mission places you went to, what kind of people you fell in love with. And what Alpha Protocol unfortunately fell short was combat. And I think Ubisoft does combat well enough, especially with something like Splinter Cell. So I can easily see them make another Alpha Protocol, but make it a Sam Fisher game and make it a Splinter Cell game and reinvent the franchise. And that would also kind of reinvent the genre a little bit. And I think it would make it really inspiring. I think they should do that.
It's Sam Fisher. He's not in Smash. There you go. That's the announcement. We're not making any more.
Don't do that.
Ubisoft Nintendo games.
Take my idea.
We are bringing Sam Fisher.
They don't even have to pay me.
Smash Brothers world to go against Snake.
Now remember, Dan. This category is called AKA They Need Mitch in the Room. This is what Mitch is pitching. It's for free. They don't have to pay me for it. And it'll be amazing. Just do that.
I think this could be my second dullest presentation, because with the announcement that Ubisoft are going to move more towards their online service model for more of their franchises. Service models do not interest me.
Well, what about
Agreed.
The Prince of Persia remake remaster that could potentially show up?
Didn't look good the first time out, but
I hope they just reboot the series.
It's a remake. Okay, great, well done, thank you.
Yeah.
I may or may not play it because this is the thing as well, because Ubisoft are also pushing. What's their subscription model called?
Oh, probably Ubi Plus or some bullshit like that.
Ubi Play.
Yeah. I'm not signing up to another subscription model to play service games.
Yeah.
Even if there is quality remasters of some of their previous titles on that, I'm just not signing up to another subscription model.
Here's going to be
unless PlayStation announced something amazing.
Well, here's going to be my runner-up for Dopest from Ubisoft of all places. And this is all based off like my expectations, what I see this game is going to be. Now, I could be totally wrong, and if it's not this game, it will not be the runner-up to Dopest. But I think Rainbow Six Quarantine will be my Dopest. And I'm thinking this because I see it as based off the trailer, and I know the game hasn't been touched for 2 years since they've announced the game, but I imagine it being like a zombie survival game where a team of people have to survive some zombies. And I think that is perfect for Rainbow Six. And even if it was a service game, if it plays really good and they can like really refine that formula, I think they got something special.
Zombies.
Yeah.
Zombies.
But like a first-person shooter zombie game, like there's not very many of them. Like even that's why everyone's excited for Back 4 Blood.
Back 4 Blood, yeah.
Like because we don't have one.
Dying Light 2, like that's enough.
But Dying Light 2 is not a shooter.
I mean, the
Dying
game has been in
Light's a
production for a while,
parkour hack and slash game, which I'm gonna say
It's still got zombies in it. First person.
It's not about. That changes everything.
Zombies suck.
That changes
I'm fucking
everything.
sick of zombies.
I think the
Fuck
only way that would
zombies.
succeed is it was
They're
free
not
to
zombies, they're
play
infected.
and they did a season pass model. I don't think they'll get enough players day one if it's not a free to play game.
I think I would disagree with you. I would disagree with you, Dan, only on the premise of Rainbow Six. What's the new one what's the current one they have that's out? Rainbow Six
Siege.
Thank you. Siege has been under so much success, especially winning players post-launch. That I think the new Rainbow Six will win enough people to sell copies. Like it does not need to be free to play.
Competitive arena as well.
That's what I'm thinking. People love Siege a lot, and if you don't change the formula too much and just add zombies, it might do well.
But it is
in that case, if you're not changing the formula
Rafa,
much,
it is a
zombies,
different
you can just add it
formula.
as a free update.
But Rafa is a different. It is no, but that's the thing. It's not. It's what I'm explaining is a completely different game than what you're currently playing. Like the one game you're playing is one team trying to save a hostage in Siege, and in Siege the opposing team is trying to keep their hostage. You can't just add zombies and make it the same game. That's impossible of what the game is. The game would be zombies potentially coming in waves, or you're trying to go to an objective point. Like there could be tons of ways of doing it, but like you and as a team of three trying to serve, are you as a team of three just
zombie mode game?
What?
It's basically Call of Duty zombie mode game.
No, you could be going to an objective.
What you do in Call of Duty Zombies.
No, Call of Duty Zombies is
zombies come. You have to board things up.
But that's not what I'm saying, Dan. I'm saying you go to an objective point, and so you're traveling from place to place. Yeah, part of the elements could be something like zombies in Call of Duty where you're holding up in one space. But I think there's a lot of things you can do with, especially because Rainbow Six is known for being a strategic game of infiltration. And so it's not as simple as just boarding up some walls and staying inside. It's all about the strategy of how do you get from point A to point B, completing the objective. Maybe it's a hostage is trapped inside a building and it's you to infiltrate and kill the zombies to get the hostage, but then all of a sudden the zombies are coming in or something. Like there's a lot of things you could do with it.
If you keep the tight gameplay controls and everything.
Exactly.
Like, the distractibility of the walls, like do it stealthily, maybe like cut it with lasers, because you can't do explosions, right?
Right. But at least the thing is, it's offering something unique and different to the zombie genre that we never seen before. If they're sticking with the Rainbow Six style of tactical shooter, then yes, it's going to be very something unique. And I think if it is leading to that, it will be my runner-up for dopest game, because I think that's awesome.
Have you seen any of the leaked footage?
I've not seen any leaked footage.
For the quarantine?
Well, we will do soon, because Ubisoft are notorious for leaking stuff ahead of E3.
I mean, it kind of looked like that, but it didn't attract me because I don't like these type of games.
So, and apologies to you, Mitch, because it's a phrase that I never want to hear at any press conference. That you just came out with a fresh take on the zombie franchise.
But I will say, for the record, they are. It is not going to be called Quarantine. They did say that they will be changing the name, so it will be a new name.
Is there anything else from Ubisoft, or we can move forward to Mitch is most excited about Xbox and Bethesda?
My only question for you guys is, well, it's actually not my Square Enix is my most excited, but we'll get to that later. That's going to win my dopest. Anyway, my one question for you fellas is, Yeah, I've one question. I thought I had two, but I have one. Do you think there will be another Assassin's Creed announced, or is it too early?
No, it's too early. I think they need to let it bed down for a bit because they're doing it biannually now rather than annual.
Yeah,
leave it.
But now that it's reinvigorated, are they gonna
just forget about what they said last year.
what they did before and just kind of just keep squeezing it for all it's worth?
I think it might show up in a montage or something. But
DLC maybe. They just released the Ireland DLC.
I think whatever the next Assassin's Creed is might show up in some type of montage, but it's not going to be focused on.
It would never show up in a montage unless it was announced.
Sorry, Mitch. Can you repeat the question now?
Sorry. And it's perfect because it's your type of question, Rafa.
Okay, yeah. Would be ashamed to miss it.
He's like, I'm ready for you. Do you think there will be? He just got super smiley. Do you think there will be a new Assassin's Creed announced, or is it too soon?
Doesn't
have to come out this year, just announced.
Yeah, I don't think, because I think they are doing the same thing with they done with Odyssey, where they released the game 1 year, and then the second year they support it with content and season pass content and free content as well. So I don't see another release this year. Would be too soon. Maybe next year at the end of 2022. But I hope because it's time. I hope and I think the next Assassin's Creed could be a remake of the first.
Oh, I hope
not necessarily the same story, but something set in that time period.
I hope
because
to that sort of reboot the franchise itself.
I'm thinking there must be a reason why that's not already remastered. Because when they started with the remasters, they started with the Ezio trilogy, and only remastering the first one. That game is really, really rough. You'd need, if you want to bring it back into discussion, it needs to be remade. I think after Valhalla, because also Valhalla is really close to that game in a way, as a time period, sort of. There are hints in it. That reference the Assassin Order from that period of time. There are some strong connections there, which made me believe that would be really smart to go from what's being said in Valhalla to go back to that time period and do more interesting things there. Because again, it's stuck on the 7th gen, and that game had plenty of context for the series as a whole, and somehow it needs to be brought back. So of course that may be my wishful thinking, but definitely I think if they are going to do another Assassin's Creed, that would definitely come next year, not this year.
I think if anything, Ubisoft, just pull your thumb out of your ass and announce Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan and have done with it.
I think after Ghost of Tsushima, they might be a little scared to do that.
I think it's too soon. I think it's too soon after Ghost of Tsushima.
It's not too soon. It's just too late.
Okay.
They missed. Yeah. They had so many chances. They had so many years. This franchise has been happening for almost 20 years, and they just missed it. They missed their opportunity. I don't think they ever can go to feudal Japan. I think it's just not an option, unless it's 20 years from now. Because who knows? You might get a Ghost of Tsushima too.
They could go to Mongolia or China.
I was going to say that they should have built more on the what's the spin-off side-scrolling one that's set in India?
You've got India,
Chronicles.
I think
Russia and China. You've got those, and those also have got I think
they wouldn't do one in Russia. Unfortunately, I think
Vladimir Putin would not be pleased.
Exactly, and that's what I was thinking. They would have to be so careful about not pissing off.
I would like to see one in taking place within the communist bloc in Eastern Europe and all that stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with something different and a different time period, the uprising.
And see, I think that's where unfortunately in my mind, the Assassin's Creed franchise has lost its way. It's now more about the setting of the location than it really is about like how does it feed towards the overall plot of the narrative that they're trying to do for the franchise as a whole. Because here's the
time travel shit.
Well, because here's the
go play game.
But here's the example, like the Ezio collection was basically almost in the same region in the same time period for multiple games, but it didn't matter because it fed the overall narrative plot of Ezio's story along with the overall arching plot of like the old world, or I can't remember what they call it. But anyways, now just going like, oh, let's just go here, and then we'll try to like think of the story secondary. I think that's what's making them fall short.
No, Odyssey brought it back about the first civilization with Atlantis in that, right, Rafa? Isn't that true?
They all had to do something with the first civilization.
But I think they've transformed the old civilization into something else than what it was originally meant to be, and now it's turned into like, they're these gods things, and it's like it just makes no sense. And now they're having superpowers, and it's like, what? No, the objects gave them superpowers, not themselves.
What you're talking about. And we've spent
too much time on Assassin's Creed.
Too much time talking about
Assassin's Creed. Let's move on, please.
We should do one only about Assassin's Creed.
Let's go to
someday, sure.
Let's go to Bethesda and Microsoft.
Oh, don't you mean Microsoft featuring Bethesda?
It's Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase is the officially reported title.
My first question for you all, and I do want to answer on this one. Do you think they're going to do like Microsoft, and then midway through they're going to go, here's the Bethesda section? Or are they going to just do Microsoft built into Bethesda?
They'll mix it up. Obviously, Big Phil will come out first, and with he might wear a Bethesda IP T-shirt underneath a leather jacket.
Of course, Starfield.
Probably.
Yeah.
And Todd Howard will come out at some point and talk about Starfield.
Oh no, he'll talk about Elder Scrolls. Because he's always talking about the game that you're never going to get like 10 years from now.
I'm really interested in what they say about Starfield.
Yeah.
Because I've never cared for I'm more science fiction than I am fantasy.
Yep.
So Starfield could be right up my alley. And a few leaked screenshots aren't doing it for me. I need some info.
Yeah, I'm worried about Starfield because I have a fear that it's not going to be an RPG. It's going to be a survival sim. And instead of you leveling up your character, you're running around filling a bunch of fucking gauges. And building bases and stuff like that. That's my fear. I like No Man's Sky. I think it's a good game, but I just don't want that from Bethesda.
You know what Starfield is on my list meter? It was on my list of potential dullest. Only for this one reason. I think no. Let me finish, Dan. No. Let me finish, Dan. The only reason it's on my dullest list is because I think this game is being overhyped for not seeing anything about it. We have not seen anything of this game, and yet everyone's claiming it as the ultimate game of the year. And it's like, are you kidding me?
I don't see that. I haven't seen anywhere that anyone's had saying that it's going to be anything more than intrigued about what they show, rather than
I
haven't seen any overhyping.
I've seen overhyping of Starfield. I've seen plenty of overhyping. Going, this game is going to be phenomenal. We can't wait to see it because it's going to be amazing. And it's like, you can't say that because you don't know. It's like, this is like this. I believe Starfield.
Media outlets just been just trying to engage in.
I get
clickbaiting.
But my fear. Unless the game looks cool, then I care about it. But in my mind, Starfield is turning into the next Cyberpunk 2077 in regards to hype meter.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, so
And we know what happened with that game. That's all.
What new footage of Halo Infinite might we get?
Oh, well, hopefully they go into multiplayer and talk about that.
That's my dullest.
Yeah, I don't care about multiplayer. Of course,
I'm hoping they fix the character models.
Oh, don't worry. Aloy's taking care of it. She's brushing it up real nice.
Not fat Aloy. Don't care for fat Aloy. But
wow, someone's very shallow.
I was only joking.
Oh, okay, good.
No, no, I don't know why I'm making that point because I don't know why everyone's freaking out about Aloy at all. I've got no issue with it.
Because
I don't.
Because the internet is the internet.
Really?
No, because people are very judgmental on the internet. Have you not seen? Have you not seen Alana Pierce getting threats about getting horrible things done to her because God of War got delayed and they blame her for it? Where it's like it's not even her call. Like
these are kids. These are
idiots. Stupid idiots.
Well, you know.
But anyways, back to games. I think it is. I think it's on my dullest list because I don't know if you can polish a turd. It's just like how much can you polish a turd? And the game mechanics look like basic mechanics. Nothing inspiring.
I don't think any of us are gonna have anything good to say about Halo.
I think it already has one.
Yeah, it does have some type of.
He has a grappling hook, yes.
Here's
all he needs is a floaty style parachute, and then game of the year.
There you go.
Not only he needs a shield one. You know
that we could talk about that might actually be decent.
Matthew, talk about your 4 games.
Everwild from Rare. We don't know anything about it. It's
that game is in development hell, though, Matt.
It's not going to be.
That's a game that no one knows what the game is. Even the developers don't know what the game is.
Right.
It looks cool as hell. For sure.
This might be our opportunity to actually see what it is.
I think the art style looks great, though. I'll say that.
I'm pretty sure. I had recently heard something that it's not going to be at the show. I'm pretty sure I heard that.
Yeah, I've heard similar rumblings too.
Yeah, it looks cool. The art style looks awesome, I think.
I have a feeling this one is going to be that primal game that never came out. You know that PlayStation one where they had like you lived in the woods and you got to like ride a bear and you like
Wild.
Oh, no,
that's a
Ubisoft PlayStation game. That was an Ubisoft game. Wild.
Yeah,
I really wanted to play that.
But that was going to be exclusive to PlayStation. That's why I said PlayStation game. Yeah, it was exclusive to PlayStation. That's what I have the feeling it's going to be. Is like they'll have something and then they realize it's not that together. Like it's just a concept. They're not sure if it could actually work. That's all.
Right, Matt, game number 2.
What else you got?
Game number 2, the Perfect Dark remake, reboot, whatever it's going to be.
Oh yeah, that's good. I'll be at that.
They could actually bring that up and talk about that.
The one thing I will say about Perfect Dark, and I'll do it really, really quick, is if they're with this Perfect Dark prequel, they better make me care about this character because I've seen 2 Perfect Dark games in my childhood and I have no care for this character. Don't even know who she is, or like because it's first person, it's also hard to connect to the character. It's just they need to do something fresh with it. So hopefully they do something fresh with it.
Yeah, the first one I have never played 0.
I like the first game.
I played 0.
The first game is very much an evolution of GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So I mean, it's just a spy first-person shooter.
But like in 0, they try to make you care for the character, but she's in first person, so you can't really see her facial expressions when you talk to people. Like it's a very dysfunction, disjointing.
It's a first-person game. You're not going to see they don't have that in Dishonored.
But McWomble, one of my reasons why I liked Resident Evil 8 so much, which actually I found, Resident Evil Village, it's not 8, Resident Evil Village, which I also found Adam Sussler loves it as much as I do, which I was like, awesome, Adam Sussler, go Adam Sussler. But anyways, in that game, they actually show camera angles where you can actually see characters' faces in the cutscenes. And I think it really helped for the development of Ethan, which made me like him more as a character and actually felt for him by the end of the game.
Improvements. But that's because you couldn't have done that when you could have done that at 0, but it would look like a pixelated mess.
I mean, again, I'm just saying they got to do it now. So like that's what they got to do today. Like I'm just.
Oh yeah. On the new game, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got to do it today. Yeah. No worries.
So, not a hill I want to die on.
Matt, you have one more though.
I got two more.
Okay.
Avowed from Obsidian, which is...
I don't think we're gonna see it. I don't think it's ready.
Is that high fantasy one?
They just came out with the Outer Worlds DLC. They're not ready with this game yet for a demo.
Actually, well, I would think so. I mean, they did the teaser 2 years ago or a year ago?
No, it was last fall, and they said it was 2023 because they didn't have an announced. They've announced everything up to 2022. This does not have a release date, so it's going to be 2023 the earliest.
All right. Well, if it's there, I'm excited to see it. And
if they give me another CG trailer, cool.
That I think will probably be at the Microsoft / Bethesda preview events is Elden Ring.
I think I've heard that's not coming.
That might be another one.
Yeah. What makes me think is, if all these games have announced aren't going to be there, what the fuck is going to be there?
Hellblade will be there.
Like
Hellblade
games.
Better be there.
No, I heard Hellblade isn't there. I just
really?
heard Hellblade is not going to be there. Yeah,
well,
I just heard that on the podcast today.
But it's more like, what are they going to show us?
Well, here we go. This is the predicament Microsoft's in. This is going to be potentially another last year showcase where they may just show titles in regards to CG trailers, or just say, here's the update on our project, because they don't have anything done yet. And I get it. It's because they just bought these studios. They still got things cooking. They'll show probably Psychonauts 2 because that's ready to go. That's going to be coming out pretty soon. You know, Forza. Yep, that's another one that's going to be coming out pretty soon. Yeah. They got Halo coming. They might tease Gears. I would not be surprised if they tease something with Gears, whether it's a title, a CG
give me another
story
Gears
trailer.
Tactics, please.
I think it's too soon for another Gears Tactics.
Just for Dan, is it Phil comes on stage?
My prediction for
Dan McAndrew, you're now on the Xbox community. This one's for you.
my prediction for Microsoft. Now that you are mentioning it, because it was exactly that. So my prediction is the dopest. Microsoft shows, out of all the 40 announcements they make, and
they're gonna make at least over 100. Remember, they always have to announce at least 100
like
games.
Of them. They will win free by, like, unlike last time. This time they will be showing gameplay for one of them.
It's gameplay for one.
Gameplay for one. And that's a major improvement, and they will win it free, and they will, like, wow. Everything CG, working titles, whatever, like only motivational speech routines, whatever. Please be hyped, please be excited, sort of talk.
I mean,
but yeah, they will
also
be showing it for one.
I mean, also because they do have Bethesda, it'll be curious if they show things like Ghostwire Tokyo. It'll be interesting if they show something like Deathloop, because it is made by Bethesda, and it's not only coming to PS4, it's coming to PC. So that's something that, like, PC is Microsoft's platform. So they might be showing those games and just maybe leave out the PlayStation logo. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, the only thing I'm really interested in from Microsoft is Deathloop, because I love Arcane, but I've seen so much of that game, I don't want to see anymore. I'm sick of seeing trailers about that game. Like, I get it.
I get
the premise. I'm just going to buy it.
I think, Evan, unfortunately, you may love Arcane and you may love Deathloop, but I think they haven't shown enough of the game to show people what the game actually is. Which I think is...
I think they've plenty explained how it works.
Do you know exactly how that game works? Because I don't.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of retreading conversation we had a couple weeks ago.
I know, and that's why I wasn't going to go any further. But I think
that's fine. We don't have to talk about it.
I think the one thing with that game specifically is I think it may be too late to try to explain what this game is, because people have already been like, you gave me 3 chances and you didn't explain it.
Or 5 or whatever. Like,
yeah, and you haven't explained it.
I've seen too much of this game. Yeah,
but I think.
To be fair, Mitch, yeah, the first 2 or 3 times they didn't explain it, so I will give you that. And then the final time, which is the most recent, they tried to, and there's previews coming out where people like IGN and GameSpot have done their previews and they're explaining how it works. But yeah, internally, they didn't do the best job of explaining the premise and how the kind of roguelite system works until recently.
I know. And last thing I'll put on it, but as I think reading those articles as well, IGN and other articles, also other outlets said they still don't know what this game is, even though they've seen some of it because they didn't get to play it and see how it actually works. But I think Microsoft overall has the best opportunity to win E3, just like they did 2 years ago.
Sony's not there, are they? So
well, I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, again, they
Nintendo perhaps.
Here's the thing: like they had an opportunity 2 years ago to win E3, and they dropped the ball because they just didn't show anything. So we will see if they learn from their lessons past.
Who do you think they're gonna? Who do you think they would have acquired? They're announcing a new studio acquisition.
They're gonna name like another 5 studios.
They bought PlayStation.
Well, no, I was thinking Ubisoft. That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? 3 days after the Ubisoft, or a day after the Ubisoft conference. By the way, we bought them yesterday. Now.
No. They showed the video of their pitch meeting to Nintendo, and they get laughed out of the room.
You ever see that Coexist T-shirt that it's like different logos from all like the like? Phil Spencer's gonna wear that. Yeah, well, it's gonna be the Coexist with the blazer, and Phil Spencer's gonna be like, "We're glad to announce PlayStation and Nintendo to the Microsoft." It's just one.
Hell, we just have the whole industry. Yeah. We just own the industry now. It's all on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Any last things on Microsoft? Don't mean to do Keith's job, but I see Keith's face of being like, "Let's move on. Let's move on."
Oh, so by the way, yeah, actually, no, it's not important. Let's move on.
Well, there's so much that they showed or didn't show, depending on your point of view, over the last 2 years that now is like kind of put up or shut up.
Yeah.
So we will.
It'll be interesting to see how we feel once it's over. That's what I'm interested to see, of how we all feel once they're done with their showcase.
I fear that they'll show. I think they'll show gameplay. I think they'll show a ton of gameplay, but I fear that after the event, we'll keep learning that most of it was scripted. It was not the real. Like usually that's the case, but for their case, for their situation, that these are all new acquisitions, it will be even more smoke and mirrors than usual. Like, and I think there's this this struggle for all these companies to actually get something that looks like gameplay done for E3.
How dare you? Phil would never do that to us. Right. So moving on to
Squeenix.
Oh, before we go Square, I'm gonna try the blonde. So go ahead. I just wanted to let everyone know.
This is my pick for dullest presentation at E3.
Oh, don't break my heart. I got the dopest on here, bro.
And the reason I say that is they're going to focus far too much on the expansions for Marvel's The Avengers.
No, they're not. Oh, if that's the case, then that is dull.
That game's dead. They're going to try and get people really excited for the Black Panther DLC. And the game's already
if it's just
died.
Black Panther, then that would be boring. I'm excited at the thought that they see how much of a failure this game was, and they just revamp it. They tone down the. This is wishful thinking, and I don't even know how one could do that, but like tone down the online aspect, and I don't know, introduce a new system that makes it worth playing solo. I don't know. I'm not a dev.
Outriders DLC maybe.
Maybe.
It's too soon because they're still bug fixing.
Or or just the future expansion of like title and like the setting of what they're gonna do for the future. So just get people hyped to be like play, because you're gonna get something more later. I could see
Outriders
that.
Outriders is a better game than people are giving it credit for. Now that the server issues are fixed, it still suffers from the tropes of being a quasi online service game, but and it's not balanced for single player.
About this beer, because I just tasted it. I'm tasting the blonde. It's super weedy. Like I taste a real. She's holding that wheat right there. Yeah, that's what it tastes like.
Like a mouthful of that wheat.
Yeah, basically, that's what my aftertaste is. I have to like chap my lips a little bit after I drink it because I can taste that wheat.
Makes sense. A bit of a maltier beer, a bit of biscuity, bready.
Yeah, it's very bready. Overall. Holy cow!
Yeah.
It was more bready than I expected. But yeah, looks good. But overall, okay.
Final Fantasy 16.
That's my dopest.
That is one of my dopest. If I can have two.
Insert JRPG. Keith switches off.
No.
I will just fast forward any JRPG section in a Square Enix presentation.
Here's the thing though. We got Final Fantasy 16. I'm so sorry, Matt. I'm cutting you off, but I'll get back to you, I promise. So we got Final Fantasy 16. It's been in development before Final Fantasy 15. We actually have a Final Fantasy game, guys, that's actually being made as a Final Fantasy game first and not as a freaking spin-off. That's what we're getting, and it looks great. It has the live action combat. It's got the old classic setting with the summons, and it has an interesting setting, and I think it's coming out this year. So I'm my dopest is on top of it would be like my grandest win E3 if it comes out this year.
Wow. He got me excited.
That's the dopest.
Before you guys get on a JRPG kick, so what else has been confirmed that's going to be at the show? Life is Strange True Colors. Do we seriously need another Life is Strange game?
I'm done with Life is Strange, to be honest.
I never finished the first one, but yeah.
So there's going to be a world premiere announcement from Eidos Montreal, which is going to be a new IP. And then they've got a Guardians of the Galaxy project that they're going to announce.
I wonder if...
And a Life is Strange remastered collection. So you're going to announce two Life is Strange games at the same conference.
They've done really well for them. I mean...
I know, but so there's been... How many have there been now? 5 or 6?
Yeah, 3. They've done 3 Life is Strange games.
1,
plus
2,
2
and Before the Storm.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. Well, technically, one of them was not made by Don't Nod. The Before the Storm was not made by Don't Nod.
Okay.
Whoa! All of a sudden, people flew to different places.
Someone's internet must have cut out.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, Keith, something that I think may happen that I don't think we are anticipating. I think the new Tomb Raider will make it. And here's why.
That would be cool.
Here's why. They've been talking about it for a while. I also think they have they've said, sorry, I've had too many beers. I'm starting to like woohoo. Not too much. Drink responsibly, people. But basically they have said that these are going to connect to the original, which I'm very fascinated to see how she finally becomes the Tomb Raider. I know that's been the running gag this whole time, and I agree. It's been taking too long to get to being the damn Tomb Raider. But having this one connect then to the originals, I think is a really smart idea, because then it makes actually the series a longevity series, and it actually the games have been good for the most part throughout its entire tenure, that you actually could go back and play all those games again, and they hold up pretty well, to the point where you'd be like, I could play these new ones, go back, play the old ones, and then kind of catch up, and then maybe they make future ones after that are actually moving forward in the franchise compared to, going back to her origin. So I think it's fascinating. It's a way to do it. And I think they did a really good job with the last one. I think it was just, what was it? They just had some miscues in the game, but the gameplay was really good in the last one.
I feel like I've been Tomb Raided out. I feel like my tomb has been raided from playing the recent games, that if they're doing another one along the same vein with similar gameplay where you just Lara Croft murder simulator / collectathon, not going to play it.
What about a new Deus Ex?
Sorry. Before you move to Deus Ex, I just wanted to say, to answer Keith really quick, what I would love to see from Tomb Raider moving forward is, I would love to see the way they integrate the side puzzles into like the main plot as like puzzles. Like I would love to see more of a puzzle driven Tomb Raider game in the style they've been making it. That's what I want to see.
I've been saying for years, just give me platforming and puzzle solving, and I will be fucking happy.
And the combat's still good, so like you can do the combat in the mix.
But you don't need all of it.
Anybody. Just I mean, you can still kill people. Like Tomb Raider kills people in the original.
Oh, I want to kill people, but I also I think those puzzles not are kill dogs.
I want to kill people. I want to kill many people.
Yeah, I want to murder people. Those puzzles are so good. Like they do a great job of puzzles, and they're varied, and the locations that they're in. Like I don't like the last game. I think it's a terrible game, like terrible with a capital T. However, the puzzles have been very consistent throughout the series, and yeah, if you just tone down the combat and the stabbing of the necks, I would be happy with platforming and puzzle game.
A little less Ellie.
This might be foolish of me, but I'm excited to see more of the James Bond game.
That's IO.
They're owned by Square Enix.
No, IO is independent now. They left. Remember?
When did they leave?
They left in the middle of 2.
Ago?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, they got dropped.
2 is
in that case, then, well,
they're an
I'm
independent
sure we'll get
publisher
there somewhere. So whenever they show up, I'm looking forward to that.
Xbox conference.
Yeah,
Potentially, she could be right there. She could be the Xbox. Maybe that's who's joining Xbox.
Oh my god!
They said there are studios joining them. There you
go. Burkoff, to answer your question about Deus Ex, I think Deus Ex is dead in the ground.
Why?
Yeah.
Unless they unless they revamp the franchise in a new, like, I think the futuristic cyberpunk setting is a great setting to have. Yeah. I just think the controls were so bad and they never improved.
I also didn't like the way the game seemed to punish you for playing it in a different way other than how you were quote unquote meant to play it.
Yeah.
So you were meant to play it as a stealth game, and if you did anything other than that, the game technically punished you for it, but it allowed you to progress, but you didn't get as much XP for combat than you did for stealth. And it's just thinking, well, just make it a stealth game then. And then, but I don't get on with stealth games, which is why I going back to what we were talking about Ubisoft, if they do make another Splinter Cell, I don't know, I don't get on with just creeping around all the time in the dark.
Yeah, Blacklist went around that issue of, like you said, and I do agree with you with a Deus Ex, which I love those 2 games, and there is a third story there because the second game ends on a cliffhanger, and I want to see it through. But yeah, a lot of these games make you feel bad for getting found out. And one thing that at least the most recent, and by most recent, I'm talking however many years ago that game was, is they had the like stealth option, the action option, and the Panther option, which is rewarding you like, hey, basically you tried to stealth as much as you could, you got found out, shit went south, and you killed everyone else. And that was the Panther option. And at the end of all the levels, it would say, if that's
where
how you did it, you got scored Panther, and it made you feel like, okay, I feel like I accomplished something and I didn't like fail, which
nice.
Dishonored has a bit of that as well. I would argue, but yeah, I think they went around it with this Panther thing, and yeah, I hope that's something that they do moving forward. Keith,
that's why I recommended that Splinter Cell goes in, and this could be the same thing for Deus Ex. I just need a game to go in the direction of Alpha Protocol. I think I keep saying that game, but like if you have not played that game, it is a very underrated game.
Did you just recently play that game?
No, I've always remembered that game for the longest time since I was I remember reading the Game Informer when I was a kid about Alpha Protocol and saying like, this sounds like a kick-ass game. And unfortunately what killed the game was its combat mechanics were really bad. And its shooting was really, really bad, especially because the scope, the scope on it had this circle, and it never really hit its target. It was just
rushed.
It was rushed. It was rushed. But that's why I think Deus Ex or Splinter Cell could go in that direction and do a really good job. I just really need another Alpha Protocol. That's what I want. And I think these
I'll
franchises
tell you
can
what.
do it.
I'll tell you what. Alpha Protocol was developed by Obsidian, so it could show up at the Xbox.
There you go.
Yeah, never gonna
Dopest.
happen,
Alpha
bro.
Protocol.
It's never gonna
Right,
happen.
so
Remaster.
They still haven't even finished the whatever the Honey I Shrunk the Kids game. I forgot that one.
Grounded.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
They still haven't even made that game like ready to go yet, and it's been almost a year. But go ahead, Keith.
Right. Do you guys want to have a quick JRPG love-in for the Square Enix presentation? I'll tune out for a bit.
Sure.
You have a beer while we do that.
I meant to ask any thoughts on Forspoken? Thinking
It looks interesting. It kind of looks
they'll
like
be showing more of that.
That's
like,
the one with the girl, right?
yeah,
To like a high fantasy world.
It's
the one
almost
with a nice traversal.
Yeah,
it's almost like if Platinum had finished Scalebound.
Yeah, kind
That's
of.
what this game looks like.
Well, I loved.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I really love the Final Fantasy. Is it 15? Yeah, Final Fantasy 15 team. I do love Final Fantasy 15. Like I know it's not a great game, but I love it for it's because I think the potential is there if they had the opportunity, and this seems like their chance to really make their game, and it seems to show for what we've seen a little bit of. I think it shows off really well.
I'm interested in it for sure. Like, I don't know exactly what that game is going to be because we haven't seen a lot of it, but it does have my attention.
Oh, here's
Rafa was saying, the traversal looks fun.
Here's a way to
flipping around and speeding around and.
Sorry, here's a way to simplify it for us so Keith can come back to the conversation as quick as possible. Out of these,
I like how we know that he's not paying attention because he was this way, and now he's this way.
I'm running an antivirus software update whilst you talk about JRPGs.
So out of these three JRPGs, just to make it easy for all of us, out of these three JRPGs, and Keith can even answer this one because I know even though he doesn't like JRPGs, he still can answer this one of which one are you more interested in? Final Fantasy 16, the Neo team making their own Final Fantasy game, or Forspoken, or is it Forsaken?
16 for sure. All day.
What's the other Final Fantasy you're talking about?
The Neo team is making a Dark Souls style Final Fantasy game.
Dark Souls, yeah, not Persia.
That potentially could be shown at E3. It's been rumored that it's ready to that's being made.
Which might have elements or harken back to Final Fantasy 1 is what the rumor is.
But it's going to have the combat system of Dark Souls or their Neo games, but easier.
Because I feel like 16 is already sort of headed in that direction. Maybe not Dark Souls or Souls-like, but it's action combat. It's
I'm sad about that.
Looks like you're controlling one character.
What I would like them to do is allow me to play turn-based if I wish.
I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, 7 Remake did that, but it's not full turn-based, unfortunately.
Well, you didn't even play it, so you can't even speak on it.
Played the demo.
Dan wants Final Fantasy 16 to become to go in the model of Yakuza 7.
Yes.
So Evan said Final Fantasy 16. Dan, what do you think of those three games? Which ones interest you the most? 16. Why?
16. I just like the aesthetic. I like medieval shit.
Okay. Burkoff?
So you got me interested.
Octopath Traveler 2. Hopefully we see something about that.
No, that's not the three games I listed. I gave you a simple question, Burkoff.
Unfortunately, I don't care about any of those games.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Keith, which one of those three games do you like the most?
I'm going to follow the Burkoff model and say Starfield.
Michael, which one do you like? Rafa?
I'm excited about Final Fantasy 16. You got me all hyped up about it with what you said.
That's what you do when you say it's the dopest.
Yeah. Is it coming out this year, do we think?
I think it's coming this year.
It's possible. I
think it's holiday and it could get pushed to spring, but I think it's like within that window. I like that window.
That's exciting.
I always loved the aesthetics of the early ones, although I've never played the early ones, but I like the illustrations they were doing for them, and now having a game that sort of looks like that, yeah, I'm eager to see more of it. Again, I also want to play the others. I want to go through the 13 trilogy. I want to play 15, but I have so little time right now.
Can I just put out there that I object to the nomenclature?
What do you mean?
You can't call something Final Fantasy and then have 16
of
them.
No, each game is separate, and within that world, it's the Final Fantasy. Come on.
Well, technically, there's been spin-offs of Final Fantasy VII, so like that's not true, Evan.
And 10.
Who gives a shit? It's
And
the fucking
10
name of a video game.
All right,
Final Fantasy
any
10.
last-minute Square Enix stuff before we move on?
Well, there's another JRPG that I don't care about that could get the announcement of the Part 2.
Dragon Quest Builders Part 3?
Final Fantasy Remake Part 2.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2.
Yeah.
I think they're saving it for Sony. I don't think they'll show it.
That's right.
Probably,
Do you think
yeah.
we'll see a bit of Dragon Quest 12?
I don't know. I hope
I
so.
don't think so either.
But,
because
yeah.
Dragon Quest 11 came out last year, 2 years ago.
Well, they revealed the logo, and I think that's all they have for now. They're gonna wait.
Yeah, because it's going to be on Unreal Engine 5, and that's not really out there right now.
Until
It
early
is,
next year. So
Okay.
I mean,
okay. So
with all this like integrate and all this maybe
You know
I
what
don't
they
know
might-
if it's as confusing as I say it is, but
they might announce Dragon Quest X Western release because they just released the full package for the Switch that has all of the expansions.
with an asterisk at the bottom that said not coming to the West though, and that was their chance because it's
Oh,
like
really?
the 35th anniversary. Yeah, it was like the biggest thing in the Dragon Quest community where because Dragon Quest 10 came out like a decade ago, right? And so they're showing this giant montage of like the game and then this DLC. It was all in Japanese, and then this DLC, and then this DLC, and it's got this music, and then afterwards it was like not coming to the West.
basically, a biggest
They
F
didn't
you
even
to the
preface
West.
the announcement with that, so all these
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are like, "Oh my God, it's finally here! It's finally!" And it went on forever.
I
It went on
totally
for like
missed that.
5 minutes, and then at the end, I was like,
totally missed that.
the only thing
just don't
they're
get
doing
it.
for 10,
It's
the only
sad.
thing they're doing for 10 is also making like an offline version, and it's slightly different than the game because the characters
Okay.
are even smaller, but it has that plot. So I think right now they haven't announced it for the West, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come to the West. So I think
But, like,
that
you-
it will be how the rest of us will experience this
Is it offline?
decade-long MMO.
I'm totally cool with that if it's all
Yeah.
offline.
They had
Yeah.
that giant like Dragon Quest 35th anniversary stream in the same week as the Far Cry 6 and Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon Forbidden West.
And
So it was
Dying
like,
Light,
okay,
right?
yeah, they're totally going to. They dropped like 6 game announcements, right? One was the 10 stuff, asterisk not coming to the West,
Right.
and then it was 10. You think if they were going to release any new information, they would have done it then, instead of like releasing some of it and then holding off for 2 weeks and then releasing more at E3. That seems
Makes
like
no
a
sense.
weird thing. to
Yeah,
do.
shareholders, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But I thought like they're done. They did their 35th anniversary stream.
Maybe.
They're not going to
Yeah.
show more. Maybe.
I think it's a great deal of like I think it will be almost impossible to localize all of that. Given
Yeah.
for
I don't
how
even know
long
much
it's-
about Dragon
it's
Quest
been
10.
added,
but-
right?
All right,
I heard
Keith.
it's good
All right,
for
Keith,
Dragon Quest fans.
Keith, we're done with
Oh,
our.
have you finished talking about JRPGs?
We're done.
Yes.
We're done with JRPGs.
Have you updated your antivirus software yet?
Yes, that's done. I've also checked for updates for the
Windows.
operating system.
Lovely.
Right. So
All right,
efficient.
moving on.
the candidate for eternal winner of all E3s, Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's accurate,
Now-
actually.
All they'd have to do to win E3 in many people's eyes is just show the splash page of Breath of the Wild 2, Breathing in the Wilderness, subtitle, :
Breathing. Sure.
Everything in the wilderness. I hope that is the name. It's fantastic.
Why not? Why not?
and they would have won. And thank you very much for watching. Tune in next week
Well, here's the thing, Keith. Like that's no joke though. Like if Xbox does what Xbox does, that's all Nintendo has to do and they win E3. That's kind of miserable.
Yeah.
I remember I did my best conferences like 2 years ago, and I remember I was like, Microsoft could have won this one if they showed games and showed gameplay, and they showed nothing. And then Nintendo showed one gameplay of one thing, and it was the best thing at the conference because of Avengers didn't show gameplay, so Square Enix got second. And I just remember Nintendo was an easy win. It was like an easy dunk for them. So like I just imagine it's an easy dunk for Nintendo once again.
They
didn't show the Avengers gameplay. They showed it behind closed doors. They're like, we're not going to show you gameplay. And everyone's like, aww.
Well, all right. So to be real though, with Nintendo, we've got potential shit that they could come out with, right? Metroid Prime 4. We haven't seen anything but a logo on that.
Probably unlikely, but maybe.
But that's been in development hell, so we don't know.
Yeah, provided they've made any progress with that, we could see that.
More information about the Pokemon games, I'm sure.
Yeah, Arcturus or
Arcturus,
yeah,
which is RPG-esque more heavily.
Right.
Game.
You're missing a very important announcement. Possible drop.
Splatoon 3.
Oh, something new. Something that hasn't been shown yet.
Oh, Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong by the dev team that made Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah,
that's
what 3D.
I'm super interested in.
How
That's
hilarious.
Dopest number 2.
How hilarious if that would be called Donkey Kong Odyssey.
Or Donkey Kong's Odyssey.
Donkey Kong.
It could be on a ship.
Whatever. I mean, that team is so creative. They only release they release stuff with complete ideas. It's not half-assed. Odyssey is one of the best games in the past decade, and if they are legitimately making a Donkey Kong game,
that is exciting.
I don't even care what it's it is necessarily. Is it a side scroller? Is it more of like a 3D game? I just trust that team.
Game.
I think so too, Dan.
Care about
Evan's just thinking.
I just want another game from them.
Yeah, Evan's just thinking he wants to collect 999 of something again.
Bananas. Man.
Collecting the freaking moons was the most annoying thing ever.
Yes.
I still hold by that. That was the one thing that held me back from saying Mario Odyssey is perfect. Was these freaking moons. The fact that you could buy them at a store is how much that game was underperforming in the moon creativity section.
I disagree, but sure.
But yeah, no, the Donkey Kong game would be good. You know what I would love? It's never coming back. Diddy Kong Racing.
I don't disagree with you, Dan. Diddy Kong Racing was my jam back in the day.
It was.
The one thing that no one is talking about, and I think will be there 100% for sure. No More Heroes 3, people.
They'll show that.
Possibly. Yeah.
I'd like to see what the Nintendo Star Wars game is going to be, because they showed the trailer for it last year.
What game is that?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they showed about a 15-second snippet of we're pleased to announce that we've got a Star Wars game now as well. And it's like, right, okay.
Oh, that reminds me. You know what? At Microsoft, they might actually show Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, that's it. I'm really
because that's being made by Bethesda.
Oh, I hope someone gets in a fridge.
Even though I have no interest in Indiana Jones because he's a boring old character that doesn't have any relevance in life.
He's fucking. Why did I come back to this show again? The best action trilogies ever made.
Do you think? Yes. Do you think the rumors are true in regards to that the Pokemon games are going to be released like 3 months apart?
Yeah, I think they will.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Is it because they're just kind of slightly different styles of games?
Yeah, different ones about the origins, and the other one's just a remake.
Yeah, but
does it matter? They're gonna
both-
sell so many
but both
copies.
of them play very different. Like I'm
Exactly, they play
I'm
differently.
very interested to see the actual gameplay of the Pokemon. I don't remember what it's called though.
Azurus, or
Yeah, whatever that one is, where you actually like
Arcturus,
where
Arcturus,
it plays
Planet
more like
Arrakis.
where it plays more like a action RPG, where you're like actually throwing the Pokemon ball and catching it.
Yeah.
And like I always
which is
told,
what I thought Pokemon should have
no,
kind of developed into about 15 years ago. But
No.
It's been leading up to this point.
You know
Maybe
what-
it should have come out earlier for sure, but still,
I've
I'm
said
glad
this-
that they're finally here.
I've said this for years. Pokemon should have evolved into the Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch combat, because I think that is the perfect way to play a Pokemon game. You still have your basic attack controls, where you have maybe 3 or 4 attack options, but you're controlling the movement of the Pokemon itself and move it around the field, and that makes it
I
more
see that,
compelling.
but actually, I was actually really disappointed that they changed the combat system from Ni no Kuni 1 to Ni no Kuni 2. Because
Ni
I
no
love
Kuni 2 is a
turn-based
disappointing
strategy.
game.
But that's not
I
what
was
I'm
like,
talking
it's
about.
not turn-based
though.
anymore. This is really shit.
Ubisoft gets a lot of flack for having the games only slightly different, but I think that even more pathetic is what's happening with the Pokemon games. Like the fact that in so many decades they were unable to train their audience to get used to something else, to risk it. Like
It's because those fans don't criticize the companies enough to push them to do new
Pokemon.
things.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
kiss
think they would
Nintendo's
criticize
ass
them
and
if
say,
they
thank
talked
you,
about
thank you, sir, thank you for another Pokemon game that's exactly the same thing as I had last time, except for one new
No, what
mechanic.
Nintendo could do that could be catastrophic for them, though. And I know they're going to do the hardware announcement's going to be prior to their showcase in the Treehouse.
No, I think it'll be at E3. I think if they're going to do the announcement for the hardware, it'll be at
New
E3.
Switch Plus.
What do you mean, the Super Nintendo Switch Pro?
Yeah, there you go. Now you're talking.
Sorry, the Famicom Super Nintendo Switch Pro.
Just every name they've
The
had.
Switch
all
Pro
the
U. The Switch Pro
this
U.
long.
And
I
guess
would
what?
say is-
Guess
I
what?
think it'll be-
Guess what, McWomble? It comes with a gamepad.
It'll be detrimental to Nintendo if they start gating their new games behind that console.
I don't think they
No,
will.
Well, I
they
don't
would.
think
I don't think
they
they
would.
I just want
what-
a machine that plays games at a higher
I think
frame
the
rate,
new.
that's all.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Michael wants better docked frame rates. So do many people.
Yeah.
I want something that will make me want to take my Switch out of the case, because I haven't played it in ages. The thing that I think might be detrimental for them is if they came out and did something like $599.
Oh, for you, yeah.
Well, judging by the rumors of the price point, like the fact that it potentially could be $100 cheaper than one of the nice new consoles and the same price as a discless version of a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series S is
How did you
it's a
find it?
horrible idea. Like you're just asking to be murdered.
It's Nintendo though. Like that's the
The
thing.
difference-
Sorry,
but they're not
they'll
asking
suck
to be
their thumbs
murdered.
and buy it anyways.
difference is,
Never
Mitch,
mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
They're not asked to be murdered if they don't gate their new games behind the new console. Because then the people who want that will still pay that amount and everyone else can still use their existing Switches, or other people can buy the old Switch. Well, the problem would be is if they put that price on there and then start gating their games behind that new console, yes, then that is a death knell.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can still play the games on your current Switch or the old Switch, and they can actually reduce the old Switch by a tiny bit of money, then actually it could do the old Switch gangbusters and then give the new Switch to bed in and be reduced in cost.
I mean, I agree they won't put a blockage between the two different versions, but still having it at that price point is asking it to die. Because what you're getting is an extremely inferior product when you're trying to look at the price point of the product.
Nintendo fans are not rational.
Yeah, but again,
They're not rational
but
individuals.
But,
Well,
but Burkoff,
fucking
hold on, Burkoff. Here's my counter to you. We said that about the Wii U as well. And all the Nintendo fans bought it, and guess what? It failed as a console. They need more than just the Nintendo fanboys to buy their console. They need the casual market. And if that price point, the casual market will not buy that console, guaranteed.
The Switch when it came out was overpriced.
But my argument,
but it was $200 cheaper still.
But can I just say, I think it's too early for Nintendo to release a new console. As in, I know they're behind, but actually,
it's more of an iteration, right?
People are still happy. But the last time they did an iteration, the Wii to the Wii U, it wasn't really an iteration, but that's how they it was a complete failure because people didn't see it as a new Nintendo console, and that's what I worry is going to happen again.
I think a more apt comparison is the new 3DS. Because they did have specific games like Xenoblade Chronicles,
the Hyrule Warriors game as well.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors game.
Like
but here's the thing: if they do that,
for the first years, they don't have anything exclusive, and then try to move forward. But because I think by that point, everyone who wants one will buy one, and then it will be too late to be mad about it. Like you already have that platform. Like, okay, could I have it? Sucks for the other people, but I have it, so I'm going to get these newer titles.
Here's the thing.
Might actually be able to get one of them.
If they did,
I look forward to not being able to get one for 8 months.
Yeah, that's one. But two, if they do this, I will feel cheated out as a Switch owner. I own a Switch because the library they have released for the Switch currently has been extremely underwhelming. Like, how many new games have they actually released for the Switch? I could count. Like, they did this. I think it was Vin. Vin did this amazing thing on Twitter where he showed off. So I think someone did it already for him and he just retweeted it. But someone showed off saying, look at all these Switch games that you can buy. Now let's break down how many of these are remasters. Let's break down how many of these are ports from the Wii U version. Let's break down how many of these are from X, Y, and Z. And then when you look at them, it's like 4 games. 4 original games for your Switch. That's unacceptable for a console. That's Microsoft doing the Xbox One. Like, what they did last generation was unacceptable for a first-party lineup. And especially with these new games that they're promising that are coming, if they release a new console and saying they're going to be behind that wall of that new console, then I would feel cheated as a Switch owner, and I would feel less inclined to actually buy their next version because the Switch come out 4 years ago? Like,
2017
are you
in March.
freaking kidding me, guys? Like, if that's not acceptable. Not acceptable.
Give me Breath of the Wild 2 and all is forgiven. I will
a more dense Breath of the
dip
Wild.
my lips and Breather of the Wilder.
How about you give me an actual Zelda game instead of Breath of the Wild? Because Breath of the Wild was not a Zelda game.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Not a meaningful one.
I'm
Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword better than those 2 games.
Ocarina of Time still is way better of a game, and that game came out over 12 years ago. Like, that way better.
A false statement.
Is way better of a game, Ocarina of Time. The remake of Ocarina of Time.
98. It's like
3DS one. Yeah.
Is that 12 years ago?
It's closer to, I mean, it's like
whatever. I'm almost up with my second beer. I'm on a rage.
Right. So we've nearly gone 2 hours.
Yeah.
Anybody didn't fill in their dumbest, dopest, or whatever?
Dullest.
Dullest? Yeah, thank you.
I've done all of mine.
I think I've done all mine.
I've done all. Dopest is Breath of the Wild 2 for me. That's the.
Why? Explain this to me.
Because Breath of the Wild is one of the best games of the past decade by like a lot. That's why.
Why, Evan? Why?
Listen to anyone talk about that game on a podcast. I don't really have to explain it myself. It's an absolutely amazing game.
People love badly integrated weapon degradation. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
it's annoying. It's not as annoying as you say it is, but it is an issue.
Basic combat. Sure, the gadgets and the puzzles are imaginative. I'll give them that, but that's all it is. If you're saying if you're telling me Zelda is just a puzzle game, then yes, I would say yes, it's the best Zelda game ever made. But Zelda is more than just puzzles.
And so is Breath of the Wild as well.
It's not.
I'm very happy with my Switch purchase. purely for 2 games: Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, that was so
that's a
good.
good
Great
game.
game.
It's a good
That was
game.
so
I should
good.
play that.
And the amount of fun I had pre-lockdown and pre-COVID with Mario Party. Love that game with people like
Wow.
that. So
Here,
much
here,
fun.
Rafa.
There you
Didn't
go. So with
expect
those 2
that.
games,
You ruined-
I'm happy with my purchase. Will I buy
Yeah.
a Switch Pro? Probably not this year or next year, but in 2 or 3 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Dan, you ruined Rafa's dreams when you said during COVID because he was thinking, "Oh, there's another Animal Crossing brother ready to say my game."
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Actually, to be
about
fair,
to
though,
sing my turnips.
I did play about 30 hours of Animal Crossing, and I enjoyed it for what it was. But I'm not
Rookie numbers.
log on
I've
every
got
day.
over 200.
Well, I guess my last
Rookie
question to you,
numbers.
Rafa, really quick, because we talked about Animal
Yeah.
Crossing. Animal Crossing, since it's been such a big hit, do you expect some big, like they've been doing small updates to Animal Crossing,
Yeah.
but do you expect me in like, hey, we're gonna do like the episode 2 of like, or season 2 is what I mean, season 2 of Animal Crossing, or the 2.0 version? Like, do you expect something big from coming into Animal Crossing that's going to maybe change the game to bring people back because the pandemic is ending and people aren't playing it as much?
I'm expecting, because the same happened with the last one. I think that was it. They might have something big once a year, but unfortunately, I think it just dumped down. I haven't played it in a while. I'm playing it right now because last summer I missed the wedding items, but I haven't picked it up much in I think like 3 months. I was
Well,
telling that
if you could, you'll just be banking the interest on your turnip mound.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
did you blow up the turnip market to the point where it's not even worth playing anymore?
yeah, sort of.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I don't I don't see them announcing anything big. It will be like now this game will leave on as a tie-in for whatever things they release next, like Zelda items, because they still like the previous game had all of that. You've got items for Zelda, for Metroid, for all their IPs, and they have yet to add those. They've only got them for Mario. So maybe that will be what they do next. But I don't think they are going to drop anything at E3. I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if they do, but I don't think they want to spend time with that. Not when they already got a Twitter account with a huge following and they already got their video updates specifically for the game.
It sold so much. I guarantee Mario Kart 9 would have come out way earlier if Mario Kart 8 Deluxe wouldn't have sold so much. They don't need to make a new one yet because it sold so.
Exactly.
The problem is
they did have that. They did have that live, the one where you actually buy the physical carts.
No, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's adjacent, right? But
Yeah.
but still.
Keith, I know
two games that I don't think anybody here cares about except for me. Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Oh, I'm excited for that. I'm interested to see it.
And Disgaea 6.
Oh,
Are probably
Disgaea
both
6.
gonna. They're probably gonna both be at Nintendo's thing.
I'm
Yeah,
interested
there's
in
one.
Shin Megami Tensei has, like,
Yeah.
especially if it's a new one and not a remastered one.
Oh no, it's new.
Kind of
It's new.
Yeah, good.
It's
I'm-
next numbered entry.
quality of life improvements. Like 3 looks cool. However, it's like a lot of that is just kind of some old school JRPG stuff that I just don't think I can get into in 2021. But if it's you get your quality of life stuff improved and a bit more in line with what we expect from JRPGs now, then yeah, I'm on board.
Well, here's the thing, and then this is quick. I'll make it really quick, Keith. Keith is like looking at me like, "Stop! We need to be done. We need to stop."
He's so done with Nintendo right now.
He's holding himself in. He's in such control right now of just blowing up on any of us, being like, "Can we shut up now?" One thing about Shin Megami Tensei, which I think is fascinating, which is why I'm interested to see about it, because of such success in regards to Persona games and how they've been doing lately, especially with Persona 5 and how that kind of just blew up. I'm really curious on how they approach Shin Megami Tensei because of the success of Persona. If they try to make it a little bit, like you said, Evan, not only the quality of life, but just make it more appealing, like Persona was appealing to more casual people. so that it will sell better. Because I think that it's Shin Megami has always been kind of like underneath Persona, and it has an opportunity to like overtake Persona right now, especially with how many Switches are out there. So this is their opportunity. I'm curious on how they'll approach all the other elements within it.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna have like any relationship stuff or whatever. They may beef up the faction elements.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't have to be Persona, but I'm just saying in regards to just stepping up their game a little bit.
Make it's niche for sure.
Make it less niche. That's exactly what I was thinking. Keith, if I can do one last question around the board and then we'll be done, I promise. It includes you too. I promise.
Is it going to be what is everyone's overall level of excitement for this year's E3?
No, it was going to be about Nintendo, but then we could do that one around the room and then be done. This one's just ending Nintendo, and then you can do the final one. So, cool. Nintendo-wise, like, what's the one game everyone... I'm only saying this one for Nintendo because this one, we actually know what's being made from Nintendo, and we can expect to see things from Nintendo compared to Microsoft. We don't know if we're going to see it or not, because it's just like, who knows when these games are coming out. Yeah. For Nintendo, what are you excited to see? Like, what's the one game you're like, I need to see that at the conference, and if not, I'm going to be the most bummed person in the world. So for me, it's No More Heroes 3. I'm really excited to see what they try to do to, like, I like what they did with the first game. The second game was okay, but I think they really could do something special with the third one. Burkoff.
SMT5. I think just being able to see what that is going to be, and hopefully it'll get a release date for this year or early next year.
Keith?
Star Wars game.
What do you have any idea what you think it will be?
As long as it's not a turn-based JRPG, I think I'll be all right.
Wait, what if it's an action RPG?
What if it's a card battling RPG?
I could probably be okay with those two, just as long as it doesn't.
I will be screaming your name, Keith, if it ends up being a Mass Effect style game.
Oh, I would love that.
Quick question: is it Star Wars Hunters? Because that's what I've. Yeah, because have you seen the teaser? Because the teaser is this hallway that leads into an arena, and an arena. Like I don't think we're getting an adventure here. Like
don't ruin it for Keith. There, don't ruin it for Keith. Don't ruin his hopes and dreams, my man.
Because we've got Radio on his parade.
Hear me out.
You
like
play that game on Xbox Game Pass.
Hear me out.
You go on because the teaser. That's what the teaser is. You go on this hallway. On the right-hand side, you've got all these holograms of fighters, of hunters. So that's presumably customization for your character. You're making a character, and you're having these arena battles. So I'm thinking maybe a royal battle style of thing. I don't think it's an adventure sort of thing with one protagonist.
Well, it's what I want to see, and I may be disappointed with what I see.
So keep your expectations low, because I don't think we're getting.
So Rafa, instead of ruining McWomble's dreams, hopes and dreams, what do you want to see?
I of course I want to see gameplay from the new Breath of the Wild game, because I like the atmosphere of the first one. I know there are other games that are better than it. I just love being in that world with the little tunes on the background, and the music, the soundtrack, and everything. So I like that a lot. And I hope, maybe it's too much, maybe a new side-scrolling Mario game. I think it's time. Because the last one was basically a port. So they must have been working on something up to now. And a little bonus something, although I think this is mainly first party, right? I don't think they are going to show any third party or...
Well, it's 45 minutes, so whatever they fit in 45 minutes.
Please bring back Sports Story. I want to see Sports Story, goddammit. I want to know it has a release date. I want to shadow drop it in the middle of the event.
I don't understand, Rafa, how you think Breath of the Wild has atmosphere, but that's for another podcast for another day.
You can't breathe if there's no atmosphere.
Well, your weapons can't break as easily if there's if there is atmosphere. So, Evan, what do you want to see?
Oh my God, Link was here the whole time. Nobody noticed. Oh, by the way, this is Link from Ocarina of Time. So
yeah, the actual Zelda game.
Oh, Breath of the Wild is an actual Zelda game. Don't kid yourself. But yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 is the one that.
If I have to recharge the Master Sword, it's not a Zelda game.
I don't know if that's a stipulation, but sure.
Dan, go for
it. Mine is never going to happen, but I'm holding out hope. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But on a serious note, I'm quite excited to see the Donkey Kong game, and if it is 3D, and see some gameplay from it. Yeah. That's what I'm excited to see. But if I did get the amazingness of Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2, that'd be fantastic too.
Something with Ubisoft.
I don't think it's sold enough, sadly, but I think I was the only one who bought it. No.
Sticking with you, Dan. In a word, one word. I know this might be hard for everyone to do. What is your level of excitement/hype for this year's E3?
Piss.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm curious
That's
why.
That's
why?
not what I was expecting.
In like 2 sentences, why is it piss?
You said one word, so I had to think of a word that would accumulate my lack of optimism. I just think that I don't think we'll see anything. I think they've been in development hell because of COVID for 2 years. Nothing's really moved on. All my games I was excited about that I should have played already this time last year, I still haven't fucking played. Kenny, you Bridge of Spirit bastard.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not going to get excited because where does that get me? Disappointed. So if I go in thinking everything's going to be shit, if there's something half good, I'll be excited. So I'm going in with very, very, very minimal expectations across the board.
Evan.
On the scale of 1 to 10, like a 6. If we get a Breath of the Wild 2 release date, then it's great.
So your word is 6.
My word is 6. Yes. Cans, bottles, 6. 6. It's 6. That's the only word. 6.
Right, Matt.
I'm much more excited this year than I was last year for the endless summer of game announcements.
That weren't really any announcements.
When what's going on when?
I think you missed the point. That's about 10 words.
I don't know. I'm optimistic.
There you go, optimistic.
Which was the word that I was going to use.
There you go. That is one word. You followed your own rules. That's good.
Michael.
Feverish.
What?
Feverish.
Feverish?
Feverish. Nice. Someone's excited. And Mitch, finishing off with you.
Unpredictable. I just to be truthfully honest, I love E3's back. That's great. I just don't know what to expect because I not only do I think it's partly Dan with like development has hindered a little bit. I don't think it's hindered as much as he's saying. I think he's over exaggerating in regards to how much development has hindered. He's just sick about Kenna. That's all. Like I get it. Yeah. I get it. Kenna looks great. But for me, it's more of that developers and publishers, I guess, have kind of changed the way that they're announcing how games are coming out. Sony did it. Ubisoft kind of started to dabble into it. EA started to dabble into it last year. Microsoft did. And I just don't know, or I'm just uncertain in regards to, are they going to bring their big guns? Or are they going to do something like Sony did, which I don't think Sony will have anything coming into this E3 because they'll do what they did 2 years ago with, they announced Death Stranding, that trailer, and then the release date, and then they stayed away from E3. They just did that with Horizon just last week. So I think Sony's not going to be there. So I'm curious on how big these announcements are really going to be, and if we're going to be underwhelmed because, and the crazy part is we won't know why we're underwhelmed if we are. if it's because the games aren't ready or if it's because these developers have decided E3 is not worth bringing the biggest guns possible to announce their games. That's what I'm like uncertain about in regards to this whole thing.
I'm pretty sure the best word was 6 out of all of us.
Yeah, you'd think the English teacher would be
That's a 3-letter word.
Yeah, minimal.
Yeah.
I'm a minimalist. What can I say?
I think I'm probably just disappointed that we might get something from Sony, but we're not getting anything from Sony.
Oh, I don't think we will get anything from Sony.
After E3.
We're gonna get something in July.
Probably after E3.
July.
Maybe in July, yeah.
Yeah.
I am, to be honest, I'm just trying to be not optimistic because otherwise I'll be disappointed. But as an Xbox Series X owner now, I'm quite excited for a few shadow drops at the event. Now on Game Pass, download now. I'm expecting a few of those.
It'll be nice. Yeah, it'll be nice to.
Do you think 12 minutes will be one of them?
I'm hoping so. I really want to play that game, and the more and more I watch of it, the more and more it really intrigues me.
And Keith, after thinking about it, I think EA is not showing anything until July, if I remember correctly. They're not even going to be there.
They are. They've got it's at the end. So normally they would go right at the beginning. They're waiting.
Oh, they're going to be at the end.
Thursday.
Okay. Oh, Thursday. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Well, for people that are going to enjoy E3, have a happy E3, everybody. Hopefully, we got you all set up for what you wanted to listen to. You know. Oh, I hit a can. And on.
You sure it wasn't a bottle?
No, it's a can.
I'm not sure.
It's a can.
Evan's still trying to work it out.
If someone drops Hotline Miami 3, I will lose my shit. That's all I'll say. Devolver Digital.
To be fair, Devolver will be interesting.
Yeah.
It was really quite humorous.
They hinted at dinosaurs, I think. That's all I know.
Keith, do you want me to ruin your...
You ready, Burkoff? Here we go.
At least according to whoever put this into Wikipedia, Star Wars Hunters is an upcoming competitive arena combat game being developed by Zynga.
Zynga?